Carmen Sandiego premiered on Netflix in January, and it's already one of the best cartoons of 2019. There were only 9 episodes in the first season, and after watching all 9 of those episodes, I have questions about the series, and I'm hoping some of my questions will be answered. Keep in mind, these are the questions that I have about the show, so maybe I'm not asking the same questions you're asking, or maybe you can answer any of my questions before Netflix does. And in case you haven't seen this show yet, I will give you a spoiler alert. Now that you've been notified, I'll start asking my questions. Hey, I'm Owen, the fiction fanboy, and here are the top 5 questions I have about Carmen Sandiego. Number 5. What happens the next time Carmen listens to opera music? In the 6th episode of the series, a vile operative deployed a low-frequency device in Carmen during the opera, and Janine Denman has one too. When trying to make sure a rocket doesn't launch, both Janine and Carmen are hypnotized by the same opera music we heard earlier. They were only brainwashed for a few minutes, but here's the thing. We don't know if the devices that were in Carmen and Janine were removed or not. This led to my theory that Carmen has to avoid opera music for the rest of her life, or she'll be brainwashed again. Think about it. She could turn against Zach, Ivy, and Player, retry to launch the rocket, or Vile could make her return to the academy so they can train her to become Earth's biggest criminal mistress mind. Like seriously, I don't understand the point of all this. When Carmen listens to opera music again, that's when I'll get my answer. But I got more important questions to ask before I give Vile any... Oh shoot, I have to move on. Number 4. What happened to Crackle? I think we can all agree that Carmen is not the only character to be concerned about here. After being defeated by the title lady, Crackle was brought to Professor Bellum, who put a device on his head. He came back in the 6th episode during the opera that I talked about, and he has no memory of Carmen. Here by the end of the episode, Carmen thinks Crackle would be better off without having her in his life. A similar looking device was used on Divinox in the last episode, and the device used on Divinox was a mind probe that made him try to tell the truth. At first, I thought Crackle's memory was erased, but after seeing the last episode in the first season, that gave me the possibility that the device used on Crackle was also a mind probe. Another possibility I have received is that the events I talked about in the previous question also happened to Crackle. No matter which of the 3 outcomes it is, I think Carmen will fight Vile again and give me the correct answer. Number 3. How did Player get his name? When Carmen first got access to a phone from Vile, the first person she managed to make contact with was a boy named Player. This is kind of nitpicky, but I don't know whether or not it was his birth name. Don't get me wrong, Player is a nice name, but Player spends most of his time, if not all of his time, in his room helping Carmen and her team. We have not seen or heard his parents, or anyone else when Player is on screen. We know how Carmen was raised, so I think it only makes sense to make an episode about Player's origin, whether we get one in the next season or in the middle of a later season, even if it's not until the final season. And while I'm at it, I know Carmen first met Zach and Ivy when they did Donut Heist, yet I think a flashback episode about that would be great too. Origins are a big must for a series like this. Number 2. If Shadow Sun is really raising Carmen to be a hero, then why didn't he just have a private conversation with her after her exam failure? This is a major plot hole in the series, believe it or not. At the end of the Season 1 finale, we find out that it was Shadow Sun, not Brunt, who raised Carmen. And the reason Shadow Sun had all of his jacket pockets empty during Carmen's turn in the final exam was because he wanted her to become a hero. But we didn't receive any of that information. Not even Carmen knew that. The only thing we knew was that it was Shadow Sun's fault Carmen turned against Vile so she could prove that she deserved to pass. All of this could have been avoided if Shadow Sun just found the perfect time and place to talk with Carmen after everyone else passed the final exam. A hero and certainly someone who's trying to raise someone to be a hero, would not have done something like what happened. You should always have enough planning before you do the wrong things for the right reasons, and Xiao has clearly failed that. The characters clearly need to learn. Number 1. When in the world will Carmen Sandiego return? Yes, I typed that on purpose. We only have 9 episodes of the series to watch as of this video. Yet a majority of shows start their first seasons with 13, or a multiple of 13, or a 40-minute episode or TV movie, then however many more episodes. After the first season of Kong King of the Apes, fans had to wait 2 years for the second season. Fans of Skylanders Academy had to wait about a year for the next season after the previous season. And we have to wait until 2020 for Season 2 of Hilda. I'm hoping we don't have to wait 1, 2, or even more than 2 years for the second season to premiere, because I was one of those fanboys that watched the entire first season in one day. Knowing that other Netflix cartoons like Voltron, Legendary Defender, and The Dragon Prince have strategies to make fans avoid waiting too long for new episodes, I hope Carmen Sandiego will do the same. The fact that we didn't get enough of Carmen Sandiego, and the fact that we don't know when she will return, is why this is the biggest question I have about this series. Please don't take too long, Carmen, as the series is already that freaking amazing. Alright, those were my questions. What are your thoughts on Carmen Sandiego so far, and what questions do you have about the series? Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and good night-o!